Hi everyone, Tracy here. Today I'm going to share with you some cards that I made. Last time I shared them on my YouTube, everybody seemed to really enjoy them and wanted to see my next set. So here they are. And like I mentioned before, I usually share them on my blog as I make them, but everybody seemed to enjoy looking at the last ones I made. I thought I'd do another video. So here is the one I made for my daughter, who obviously loves Alice in Wonderland, and that's the collection I used. And this background is actually the back of the paper pack. And I just put some strips down here, put a little fastener so she can move this to see the clock back there, or the pocket watch. And then I used one of these pen nibs. I love these things. Actually, I use those to, not these particular ones, but the real ones when I do my calligraphy and that. So I thought that was a neat touch. And then the inside I'll just show you quickly because I just wrote her a little sweet message in there. And then most of these I had made when my girlfriend and I went on our girls' creative weekend. So the first ones are simpler, and then the other ones are my colored images. So we'll start with this one, and this is from a very, very old paper pack I got many, many, many years ago when I first probably started scrapbooking. And so I just pieced these together, and then the inside, of course, my recipe card and everything, because I need my straight lines. And then this one here is just the Stampin' Up! Punch and some old paper I had. And I just like this saying, just saying, I like that. And then inside again, my recipe card. And this one, I really like these papers and these colors. They're just, I don't know, they're happy colors. And this here, I quite impressed myself because I wanted to put ribbon here and I didn't bring any ribbon with me. And I really like the ribbon you can buy, I think from Stampin' Up!, I'm not sure. So I just used a piece of cardstock and then put white ticks on here with my gel pen to make it look like ribbon, and I think it turned out pretty good. Then just punched some flowers and added some sparkle to it. And had a little bit of leftover paper and put it inside. And when you back them with black, it really makes your colors pop. And here is another simple card. I just took two different papers, pieced them together, and then put a border strip in there, and then pop dotted the saying up. And here's the inside. The insides are simple, but I like to put a little bit of paper to coordinate with the front of it. And then this one here, again, just some old papers I had, and stamped the image, and then used my ticket punch for the corners and added a little bit of sparkle to the front. And then again, the inside is pretty simple. And then this one here, I used a mini magnolia stamp. I really didn't think I'd use these stamps for the outside of my cards. I thought I'd just put them on the inside, but I thought they were too small, but it works nicely on here. And I love this paper. You'll see this paper a few times because I really like it. And then, see, this is how I thought I'd just be using it, is just on the inside, but because I have the borders and that around here, or the paper piecing around here, it looks fine there, being a tiny one. And this one, I just love this image. This is my girlfriend let me stamp her stamp on here, and I paper pieced it, and then paper pieced the hat, and added some more flowers with some sparkle. I really like how that one turned out. And see, I just had a little tiny piece of paper that I had left over from punching out the flowers, and I just put that there. See, it doesn't have to be all that elaborate if you don't want it to be. And then this one, I punched and cut out the fence and the grass and put it behind this blue paper. And then I colored I think that's a CC Design stamp, and then popped it on top of the fence. It looks like she's sitting on the fence. And I really like how this one turned out. And then the inside. And I like this paper and this banner, and I wanted to write like a year, say somebody was born. I wanted to make a banner of like, say 1995 or something like that. But the numbers only go to 1 to 6, so I couldn't do that. I have to make up my own borders for that one. And then here is another card, and see what I mean by backing up with black, how it just makes the colors stand out. Then again, colored the image with my Copic markers, and then stamped the inside as well. And this was a fun one. My girlfriend and I challenged ourselves kind of to use papers that we normally wouldn't use. And when we went to Scrapbook for Heart, they gave you free paper, and this is one of the papers I got. This peachy orange color, and I'm not really into oranges, so I didn't think I was going to use the paper, so that's why I picked this one. And again, like I said, with the black, it just makes the colors pop, and the way I colored her up to match the papers, I really like how it turned out. And again, this is one of those mini magnolia stamps, and I add a little bit of sparkle on her wings and the bubbles, and then these circles kind of mimic the bubbles that she's blowing, and the inside of the card. Actually, I think this one might be one of my favorite ones. Then here is another, this is a Greeting Farm stamp, and I paper pieced her as well to match the papers, and again I used my fake ribbon and added a little bit of sparkle to the corners and then to her jacket. I really like how she turned out too. And then the inside, just punched some flowers and added a little bit of sparkle to the middle. And then this one, I just love this one. I think she is so adorable. This little image reminds me of my girlfriend's daughter at this age. So cute. And I paper pieced her hat. And the funny thing with this one is I thought of this layout when I was laying in bed, and that was about 2 o'clock in the morning. And I was going to get up and make the card, but I didn't want to wake my girlfriend up, so I had to wait till the next day. And this stamp set, I'm not sure the name of it, but it came with a little mini stamp of her face. So I paper pieced her face, or not, sorry, her face, paper pieced her hat the same as the front, and backed it up with black. I really like how that one turned out. And then this one here I made for my daughter, who's going to be 23, and the thing is, her birthday's in July. So I made this one well ahead of time. And the reason I really like it is because it has a camera, and my daughter's a photographer. So when I saw that paper, I knew I had to get that for her for a birthday card. And then this image is also a CC design, and I like, of course, because she's holding a camera. And just did some stamping and made a little tag. And then the inside. And this last one I just made the other day with a new CC Design stamps. And what I did was I stamped the mushroom and colored in the grass, drew the grass in, inked around the edges and inked this so it looked like sky. And then I colored the fairy, or I'm not sure if she's a pixie or a fairy. I colored her up and cut her out and pop dotted her on top of the mushroom and added some butterflies. And this stamp, in her hair, she had these leaves and a pine cone, or an acorn. And I didn't want to use the acorn because that reminds me of the fall time, and we haven't even had spring yet. So I put a little flower in her hair instead, and then just put these 3 little butterflies on. And this paper here I got in a rack from Sybil. Thank you so much, Sybil. And it goes perfectly with this image here. And then the inside. And because it's a black cardstock, I wanted to pop it up on some pink paper. So there are my cards, my other stack of cards that I've made. So thank you all for joining me, and hope you have a good weekend. Bye now.